Welcome, everyone. I'm Eric from Canadian Geographic Education, and we're thrilled to be back with another Marine Month live event brought to you in partnership with the Canadian Marine Careers Foundation. So Marine Month is your chance to learn more about the marine sector, exploring different organizations and careers, and engaging with industry professionals. So today I'll be chatting with our guests from Canada Steamship Lines in a few seconds. In about 15 minutes or so, we'll open the floor to questions from the students. So get ready to join the conversation. So to our teachers tuning in, please remember to check in by adding your name or class nickname to the YouTube chat. And this will automatically enter you into our draw for a $500 cash prize. And I'll also just mention, please don't forget to stick around until the end. We're going to do a quick little Kahoot quiz to see what you've learned from today's presentation. So I'll share those login details a little bit later. But without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome our special guests today from Canada Steamship Lines. One of Canada's largest marine companies and a leading shipping owner and operator on the Great Lakes. So please welcome, we have Youssef El Bagouri and Amélie Simard. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Hi guys, so where are you joining us from today?
Well, me, I'm from home. I just came back from a vessel over the weekend, so I'm sitting home at the moment, yeah.
All right, fantastic. Youssef, you might be muted, actually.
I'm in.
Okay, we'll get back to you in a second. Okay, so maybe just to start, Amélie, could you maybe tell us a bit about CSL and what they do?
Yes, so CSL is the world's largest owner-operator of self-unloaders and now also the third largest cement carrier company. So we own a fleet of 18 vessels in Canada, 17 bulk carriers, and 1 cement carrier, and ship products like sugar that goes in your teacher's coffee, road salt for the winter, grains, the grain like cereal that you ate in the morning before going to school. This is what we call dry bulk. And CSL as a company can trace its origins back to 1845. Our ships, they have been going through multiple technological changes and improvement throughout the years. So in 2021, we designed and built the Nukumi, the first biodiesel electric liquor, which operates in Canada. We are also operating the first vessel with sails on the Great Lake, a cement carrier named the Sunanvik. You will shortly see a picture of this vessel on the screen. So there is 2 flexible vertical sails, which were installed on the ship in 2023. They are mounted on in containers installed on the main deck. So it allowed them to be deployed and to the vertical and harness the wind energy for additional thrust. So these sails, they boost the vessel speed in favorable conditions and also lower emissions by burning less fuel.
All right, amazing. So Youssef, how's got your audio working okay?
Yeah, working.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, of course we're trying to introduce students to different careers and in the marine industry. So I'm wondering, with CSL, what do you guys like most about working there? What motivated you to join the marine industry?
Yeah, I think what I love about shipping is the adventure and the people. The first ship I ever sailed on, I joined in London, England. I sailed to Osaka, Japan. So on that voyage, I crossed the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Equator, the Panama Canal, and even went into the Arctic Circle to avoid the typhoon. But I think shipping offers a great career for all people. Shipping companies have lawyers, accountants, human resources, IT. So even if you don't want to sail, there's still a place for you in shipping. But fortunately, I believe I work for the best company, but you don't have to take my word for it. CSL is consistently ranked amongst Canada's top employers. For young people, and one of Montreal's top employers. But I think what sets us apart is that our company values and prioritize the environment. And our people believe very strongly in diversity, equity, and inclusion. We believe that our unique perspectives and experiences of our people are our greatest asset, both in the office and on board with the crew. But I guess as to answer, why did I get into shipping? When I was a teenager, I just loved engines. I wanted to know how they worked. I thought it was like super cool. There was an actual explosion taking place inside this metal lump in my mum's car that took us down the highway. And ships just have the biggest engines. And so I thought I'd get into shipping so I could work on these engines that are bigger than most people's houses. The picture of me you see on the screen right now, that's me actually inside just one small part of the engine. I went to university to study naval architecture and marine engineering, and then went to Glasgow College of Nautical Studies to get my Officer of the Watch certificate so that I could sail. What about you, Emily? How did you get into the industry?
Well, for my part, I didn't know really what I wanted to do for a living as a teenager. I was looking mostly for an unconventional job. I knew I would not be able to sit behind a computer every day in a regular 8 to 5 job. I was very active. I was avid for adventures. I was the most interested in industrial application, and a little bit out of nowhere, I found the mechanical engineering program at the Marine Institute of Rimouski, and I really fell in love with it. So it is a 4-year course where you learn all about physics at school, and then you learn mechanics on board during a 12-month cadet training program. So during my career, I have sailed to many places, including Canadian Arctic, Europe, and Americas. Like I have so many stories from the past 15 years since I got out of school. I could probably write a book by now. So yeah, I've been up the ranks until I got my chief engineer license about 5 years ago. Chief engineer is the ultimate ranking on board for engine department, which is similar to a captain license for deck department. So I am CSL's first ever female chief engineer. So I do encourage every female to choose a male-dominated career path. If you think it is what you like, there is a place for you there in the marine industry. You can live your passion, and also like best advice is to always remember that you do not need big biceps to be a good engineer. Like you just need a good head on your shoulder.
Amazing. Yeah, that's quite the journeys you guys have both taken. Well, maybe could you maybe talk a little bit about your individual roles? Both sound very interesting.
Yeah. So I'm CSL's decarbonisation manager. So what does that actually mean? It means I monitor how the ship's performing and then develop ways to keep us on track to meet the upcoming regulations. So once that's done, we actually have to make the changes happen on board the ship. And this is where I'll hand over to Emily to talk about her role.
So my role on board a ship as a chief engineer is to implement CSL policies related to safety, environment, and operation of their vessels. So on my current vessel, named the Frontenac, I've been working there for 4 years now. I have 10 people under my charge, and they all have specific work duties associated with their ranking. So the chief engineer is responsible for the crew management, efficient operation of all machinery on board. So it goes from main engine, generators, propulsion, self-unloading system, deck machinery, electrical plant, automation, and even accommodation repairs. So the chief is really like a know-it-all person. We're trying to prevent breakdowns. We try to avoid downtime in our operation to ensure proper cargo delivery to our customers.
Okay, well, I'm also curious about, we hear a lot about the impact of, transportation on the environment, climate change, that kind of thing. Could you maybe talk a bit about, the marine industry and your organization? What exactly is the impact of shipping on the environment?
Yeah, so like you said, transportation is a big part of global warming. About 25% of global emissions is from transportation. About 90% of global trade at some point is on a ship. So while shipping is actually the most efficient way to move things, we still have to do our part. So what's CSL doing in terms of doing its part? We've been focused a lot on biofuels. So these are fuels made from waste organic materials. So this is like waste oil from the food industry and unusable crops from the farming industry. In fact, CSL are actually global leaders in the biofuels and using biofuels to reduce our GHG. And why do we like them? Well, it's what we call the circular economy of the CO2 life cycle. So when the crops grow, they breathe in CO2, pulling it from the atmosphere. And then once the crops have grown, we harvest them. And like I said, we take that waste oil and we use that waste oil to power the ship. And when the engine's using the waste oil, it puts the CO2 back into the atmosphere where the next generation of crops can absorb it. So it's this cyclical pattern. Fossil fuels, on the other hand, we simply take the oil from the ground, we burn it, it goes into the atmosphere. There's no return there. One of the biggest advantages of biofuels is what we call a drop-in fuel. We simply put it in the tank and we start sailing. A little interesting fact on biofuel, the first diesel engine ever made by Rudolf Diesel in 1897 ran on peanut oil. So biodiesel is not really new, it's more an origin story.
Right. So maybe could you tell us a bit about, how do these initiatives, how does using biofuel, translate to operations on board? What is the effects?
Yeah, sure. Well, the main benefits on board are obviously less air pollution. Biofuel is a very clean fuel, so there's no need to purify the exhaust gases with a complicated system called a scrubber, which uses harmful substances for the crew. There's no need as well to clean the exhaust gas piping arrangement as often as before compared to when we were only burning heavy fossil fuels, which cause a lot of soot and hard carbon deposits, which are a fire hazard over time. The biofuel, it does not require any modification for the operation of an internal combustion engine. The combustion process remains the same, which is the main reason why it was a very smart idea to transition to biofuel. The only downside, I would say, of biofuel on board, other than being expensive, is that we can only burn it for a very short period of time. So we burn it from May to October because it is very sensitive to cold temperature. So in lower temperature, the biofuel can become gelatinous in the tank, and this can clog the filters, the piping, the injection system, etc.
Okay, well, we're going to take some questions from students in a moment, but I have one more question. I'm also curious about another environmental consideration. So marine animals, marine mammals, is there an impact on them? What's being done to keep them in mind?
Yeah, well, our values also cover life below water. Some of our trading routes require that we pass through marine protected areas. So Canada and CSL are committed to reducing shipping's impact on marine mammals. In Canada, we actually have two of the best programs in the world for addressing underwater noise. There's the ECHO program near Vancouver, and there's the MARS program near Rimouski, right here in Quebec. The goal is to find effective strategies to reduce underwater noise. The MARS project's one of the best in the world. They don't only measure the noise that the animals hear, they also identify on board the ship where the noise is coming from. And once you know where it's coming from, then we can start looking at ways to reduce that impact. The ECHO program is the largest database of ship noise measurements in the world. So even if you don't know how loud your particular ship is, they probably have a measurement of a group of ships very close in size to give you an idea as to where you are and what you need to do. But not only that, we're also part of the Marine Mammal Observation Network, to whom we report by collecting data on whale sightings.
Yeah, so our vessels, they're equipped with systems which monitor our presence in these areas, and then we can adjust our operations accordingly by reducing our speed and noise to allow us to comply with applicable regulations. So these monitors, they have helped researchers to better understand how vessels affect marine mammals. The main source of underwater noise on board a vessel are the propellers, the engines, generators, and also the hydrodynamic flow around the hull. So all of this together impacts the mammal's communication, navigation, feeding, and reproductive patterns. So our crew members are very lucky to spot multiple marine mammals every year. So for example, in 2023, our vessels spotted 38 of them. And in 2018, 127 marine mammal sightings were registered by our crew members. So this variance in the number of sightings, it can vary for multiple reasons, notably our trading routes and unfortunately climate change. So our diminishing numbers is one of the reasons why we are focusing our efforts in this direction and joining a worldwide effort to do better to save our planet. So some of our vessels have the opportunity to see various species as well. So as you see on the screen now, this is the Nukumi. It spotted 13 different marine mammal species in 2023 alone. So this is very impressive.
Amazing. Yeah, so I actually, there's a question that came in. Have you, either of you, had any interesting interactions with marine life in your career? Have you anything that you've seen while on board?
Yes, I did. Well, I did see some dolphin. I have seen whales. I've been in the Arctic a lot, so I've seen like polar bear, like the rorqual, or the thing there with the big
Narwhal.
Yeah, sorry about this. Yeah, so yeah, it's been very cool actually. I really like my time in the Arctic. It was like, it's different like scenery that we used to, so it's super cool. Yeah.
It's similar. I've seen whales, dolphins. Yeah, I'd say mostly that. I've never seen a polar bear though. I'm jealous of you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Fantastic. Well, thanks for sharing all that. I mean, it's great to hear about all these different initiatives. It's really important. I think a lot of students, especially young people, care about these things. So it's great to see. So yeah, we're going to take questions now from students. I see we have one class here on screen. We could join if you guys, Leung's class. If you guys can turn on your camera and microphone, I'll bring you on in a second. In the meantime, maybe just one question I have for you guys. If for students that might be interested in starting a career in the marine industry, do you guys have any advice you might give for someone thinking about it?
You want to go first?
Yeah. Well, my best advice actually is to just stop thinking about it and just do it. It's a very good career path. It's a very good career too. If you like adventure, if you like being in new places, if you like to travel for work, I mean, it's great. You will be like fulfilled. Your life will be fulfilled with adventure. It's a very nice career to do.
Yeah, same. I mean, I have no regrets at all about going to sea and joining the industry. I think it's an industry that never stops, and you'll have a good time. And you do the work in the classroom, but you are rewarded so much when you're on the ship and meeting people and off seeing the world. And it's a great experience. Like I say, I think just get through the classroom stuff, do your studies, and then there's definitely a place for you where, it's an in-demand industry, and it's been a great career for both me and Emily. So come join us.
All right, fantastic. All right, well, I think we're ready to bring on our on-screen class here. So let's see how this goes. Hi, guys. Let me unmute.
Hey.
All right. Can you turn on your microphone? We got some excited.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can. Do you guys have a question? Wow. Okay. This guy's really.
It's a big party there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this yeah. Okay. A little intense. Okay. Do you guys? Okay. Are you able to ask a question? Okay. I think she's just getting them a little calm down. All right. Do you guys want to ask a question? This is Miss Janet's class.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Too loud. Just
You
okay.
guys are too loud. Can you turn it down, please?
Yeah, that's too loud.
All right. Does anyone have a question over there?
Do you guys have questions?
Really? No.
Yeah.
Katie has a question.
Have you ever
Okay.
seen a shark before?
Can you
Did you
hear
guys
it?
catch that? Have you ever seen a shark before? Was the question.
A shark? I would say I never saw a shark, but I'm pretty sure we were pretty close to them, but in their environment, But I never seen it from my eyes.
The same. I think sometimes you see some shadows in the water, and
Yeah.
is it a shark? Is it just another kind of big fish? Is it a dolphin? I'd say I've never confirmed sighting. Let's say.
Yeah, but one thing which is very funny, like for example with dolphin, is when you go like with the ship is moving forward, the dolphins they come at the bow of the vessel and they dance like they just jump in circle like this. So I've seen that many times. It's super cool.
Amazing. Any other questions?
Ellie.
Have you ever got attacked before? What? No, not really. Is that realistic? Yeah, it's so unrealistic.
I guess I'll rephrase. Is there any danger or risk, at sea? What about like bad weather? Is that ever a concern?
I would say that yes. I mean, there is bad weather. Obviously, there is storms, hurricane, big waves. So, like going across ocean, going up in the Canadian Arctic is like it's like open water. It's not like the Great Lakes where it's enclosed. So the storms are bigger there. So yeah, I've been on a ship where you almost walk on the walls like this, and you don't sleep very much. And I don't think I was never scared to die or anything like that. It's just I'm very lucky. I'm not seasick, so it's good for me. But I've seen people being seasick there, and it looked very bad for them. So, I mean, it's yes, there is some dangerous operation as well. So, like, we keep safety in our mind, like it's the first priority for people.
Yeah, for sure. Similar, I'd say, crossing the oceans. And like I said at the beginning, we went into the Arctic Circle once to avoid a typhoon because we were going to Japan. So you try in the ocean to kind of avoid these storms, but they're so big. Sometimes you're just rushing past it. But like Emily said, safety is a key importance for every company, right? Nobody wants an unfortunate incident. So we try and avoid it and just reduce the risks when we can.
Okay, good. All right, guys, maybe one more question. Anyone else? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Kaden.
Are there any species of whales that live in Canada that are endangered?
Endangered whales, yeah. That's maybe not our expertise, but there are some that exist. Yeah, like maybe the right whale. Maybe a few others.
North Atlantic right whale. I think the numbers are getting better, but they were extremely low. I'd say now they're still low, but they were extremely low for a while. And then I think on the west coast we have the southern resident killer whale is a protected species there.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't know. We report the observations. I don't think we're tracking the numbers. I think.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys, for joining. We have a few more questions here. Maybe we could take one more question. The question's about I know you you have you ship globally. What is the furthest one of your vessels might travel?
So normally our ships we call them short sea voyages. So normally it would be less than 10 days.
Okay.
It might be a little longer if the ship was going to a special dry dock for a maintenance period. Then the ship might sail across an ocean or it could go from maybe like Australia up to China, for example, do the dry dock in China. But generally, the self-unloading bulk carrier market that CSL is part of, the voyages are 10 days or less, I would say.
Okay. And so when you work, I guess it's a different work schedule than what most sort of 9 to 5 jobs would be. It's a bit different.
Yes. So for my part on board, I'm working 6 months a year. So I work 6 weeks at a time. So I would be 6 weeks on board, and then I would be 6 weeks home for vacation, and for a total of about 6 months a year. So that's the schedule I'm having, like, continuously. So it's a great schedule.
Yeah, no, it's pretty nice. Yeah, lots of free time there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just get people's attention to the Kahoot here. So if you guys want to join, you're welcome to do so. Just a couple questions. See if you guys picked up on a few of the things we talked about today. So yeah, I guess I wanted to maybe also ask about. Hold on, there was a question that came through. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, do you think so? You talked about biofuels. Do you think it's possible that the entire, I don't know, will in the future the marine industry, will it be completely green in the future? Is that a possibility?
So that's certainly the target that the international maritime community is working towards. So our global governing body is the IMO, and their goal right now is a net zero by 2050. So that's the target we're working towards. There's some other theories out there that say, hey, we should be trying to do it sooner. I think we would all like to do it, sooner if possible, but we're talking about developing new fuels and bringing them into a very large industry, and we have to appreciate that takes a long time. But yeah, sure. We're certainly looking for that net zero target.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Maybe one more question, actually. This is a personal question, but more and more we're hearing about like artificial intelligence, AI. Is that something that's being implemented at all in at CSL or in the marine industry in general that you know about?
I would say not at CSL. I don't know. Maybe I think there's some companies that are looking at it maybe more from like a predictive maintenance side.
Okay.
But I don't know. Amelie, any thoughts?
Yeah, and I mean, I heard some companies like they start to operate some vessels, but crewless, so there is no crew on board. So
Okay.
it's remotely operated from the shore for like short voyages. But at CSL, we don't have any AI so far. We do use automation though to like extract data from our vessel, like some sort of live monitoring. So, but yeah, maybe it's the future. I mean, I think the whole planet is going toward this, so we'll see.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, great. All right. Well, we've got a whole bunch of participants now, so let's get this Kahoot going. See how you guys do. All right. So, our first question. So what is unique about the CSL ship, the Sunan Vic? So is it powered entirely by solar energy? Is it the oldest ship in the fleet? Does it use only biofuel? Or does it have sails that harness wind energy? So there's a picture of it there. I might give you a little hint. Okay, so some good guesses, but yeah, of course it actually has giant sails, so harnessing wind energy, saving renewable energy. So it's a very cool ship. I quite like that. So next question. In addition to being better for the environment, why is biofuel an effective option for CSL ships? So it works better in cold weather. It's cheaper than fossil fuel. It doesn't require changes to the ship's engine, or is it made from recycled plastic? So these are some tricky questions. I will say that. So, but one of you got it right. So yeah, it doesn't require changes to the ship's engine. I guess that's one of the big things. Yeah, Amélie, you mentioned it actually can't, or it has trouble in cold weather, right? So it kind of it's maybe not the best in that situation. All right, let's see. Here we go. Focused Ant in the lead here. All right, how does CSL reduce its impact on marine mammals? By reducing speed and noise in marine protected areas, by switching to smaller ships, by avoiding oceans altogether, by only traveling during the day. All right, hopefully you guys get this one. Okay, very good. There we go. So that one was maybe a little easier. But yeah, very much important that the ships reduce their speed. So whales communicate with using sound. So that's very important that they do that. All right, well, let's see who took the win here. Third place, Cute Iguana. Second, we have Magic Finch. And in first place, Focused Ant. All right, congratulations. Well done. All right, well, there we go. Let me take that down. So you don't win a prize, but you have our respect. So well done. Okay, so I guess that about wraps it up for today. I just before we go, there's a few things I just want to share. First of all, thanks everyone for joining us today. If you want to learn more about Canada Steamship Lines or any of the other organizations part of Marine Month, you can visit our website, which I've shared at the link below. And here you can also find, we have a set of learning resources you can use in your classroom as well. I also want to talk about our partner a little bit. Let me just pull up their info here. So Imagine Marine, Canadian Marine Careers Foundation. They provide all kinds of different resources for students and schools. So if you visit their website, there's all kinds of different careers that they showcase. And you can go on there's a jobs board as well for the older students. And they do career expos, all kinds of things like that. So if you want more info, please give them a visit as well. So yeah, let me just pop that up. Oh, I guess I forgot to pop it up. There you go. So please check that out. If you get that chance to do so, please do. So again, before we go, thanks to all the students and classes who joined us today. And of course, a very big thank you to Youssef and Amélie. Thank you guys very much for being here. We learned a lot from you guys today, and it's great to hear about all the different things CSL is doing. And so thanks again. And everyone, hope to see you all at our next event. For those who speak French, we will have another CSL event tomorrow en français. So feel free to join us then. Otherwise, I guess have a great day and take care. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.